Hi everyone, welcome to Corona Yoga. My name is Trina. Today's practice is 30 minutes long. It's a fun practice, which means that you need to have an existing practice in order to do this. So I rely on you to know a lot about your body, about alignment, about pose names, maybe even you know Sanskrit. Maybe you have some Sanskrit in your back pocket that you want to pull out in today's practice. So I might call out just some Sanskrit names and see if you know what's going on. Don't worry about it. I'll guide you through everything. Today we might need 2 blocks. And if you don't have yoga blocks, you can always just use something that's sturdy and firm, like a book. Also 2 washcloths. These are great for padding or to cover your eyes at the end in Shavasana. And because you have an existing practice, you know what I just said, Shavasana, and also a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can go ahead and use a belt. So go ahead and move to downward facing dog. And just walk the dog. Just check in with your body and set an intention for your practice. And just find stillness in your down dog. And you can choose here to stay in down dog for your warm up, or you can shift from down dog to plank using your breath so you can connect your breath and movement. I'm just going to stay in down dog, but feel free to do that. Move from plank to down dog. So today's practice is all about finding your center. So I want you to physically pay attention to where your physical center is in every single pose, and see if you can find your emotional center, your mental center, your spiritual center. So where would those be? Where is your mental center right now? Like, what would homeostasis be for your mind? What about emotion? So a lot of times we can ride those emotional waves, but what about contentment? So contentment isn't happiness. Contentment is just acceptance, kind of like a slight smile, maybe a Mona Lisa smile, like you know a secret. So we're going to move into crow. We're also going to move into a headstand, a tripod headstand. That's why we're holding our down dog or shifting back and forth. We're just getting the body warmed up. And just find your breath. So in your down dog, if you're just holding it there, you may start to notice that edge of not wanting to hold the pose anymore. But can you find something beyond that label into the experience of what it is? Now walk your feet up to your hands. It's nice to release out of that, isn't it? Halfway lift. Ardha means half. Fold down. Uttanasana, forward folding. Rise up. Reach your palms. Touch them overhead. Bring the thumbs to heart center. Samastitihi. So Samastitihi, we have the feet together, hands at heart center. We close the eyes. So this, as we close the eyes, this allows us to feel how the body sways. This is symbolic of the way that the mind moves, symbolic of the way that the energy and motion, the emotions move. Try to find your center as if you're standing on a flagpole. Did that shift anything? Imagine from the crown of your head all the way down through the spine to the space between the heels. There's a straight line. So connect to the earth through the heels and then lift to the heavens through the crown of the head. And just be that conduit. Now lift the arms up, touch the palms overhead, flicker the eyes open. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Ardha, fold down, Uttanasana. Feet back, plank pose. Chaturanga, elbows bend. Upward facing dog, heart high. Downward facing dog, hips high. So let's talk real quick about the rolling over the toes. So one way that you can do this is come over into plank and then just roll over to the tops of the toes and hold your plank, and then just try one foot at a time. So you roll over into the ball of the foot and then switch to the other side. Whew. Top of the right foot down. Let's just try same side together. So top of the right foot down and then roll over the ball of the left foot, then to the top of the left foot. So you're bearing the weight in that right side. And then go to the other side. If you did both, just feel that. And then find downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Lift the right leg high. Step the right foot between the thumbs. Crescent, fingers high. Lean forward, warrior three. Left leg lifts. Stand tall, mountain, arms down by the sides. Lift up, touch palms overhead. Forward, fold down. Lengthen the spine. Fold it down. Plank pose. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Breathe in and breathe out. Left leg high, left foot between the thumbs, crescent. Warrior three. Stand tall, mountain. Lift up, palms touch, forward fold. Halfway lift, Ardha. Now, hands down, maybe you want to float back. So the way that you float back, you place the hands on the ground. You jump your feet, actually, your hips lift up and you shoot your feet back. You land in Chaturanga with the elbows bent. And then lift the heart, upward facing, then downward facing. Breathing in and breathing out. Right leg high, right foot forward, left heel swivels down, warrior two. Left arm up and around, right arm forward. Reverse warrior, right arm lifts up and back, left hand slides down the back of the left leg. And then right elbow, right knee, left arm to the front of your mat, palm facing down. And then we'll switch. So keep the right knee bent, switch it back. So this is dancing warrior. Reverse warrior, extended side angle. Reverse warrior, extended side angle. Reverse warrior, find your breath, and extended side angle. Take it to warrior two. Straighten the right leg, extend the right arm forward, triangle. So this is our first triangle. Be a little gentle on yourself. Place your right hand anywhere on this right leg. Left arm up to the ceiling. Maybe you focus on your spine, from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Try to create space through your spine. And after you create the space, maybe you can start to twist it, where you look up toward your left thumb and your left rib cage is reaching back behind you. 3, 2, 1. Take the arms wide. Turn your right toes in. Forward fold. Come down with a straight spine. And find your hands anywhere along the legs. Bend one knee. Stretch the opposite inner thigh. And then switch. And switch. And take the arms wide. Lift the chest up. Warrior two again. Right heel. Swivel on the right heel. Right toes face forward. Right knee bent. Cartwheel the hands down either side of the right foot. Right foot goes back. Maybe you hover your right leg as you chaturanga. Breathe in. Elbows bend, chaturanga. Upward facing and downward facing. Lift the right leg high. Place the right foot between the thumbs. Left foot meets it. Halfway lift. Fold down. Rise up, touch palms. Take it straight back down, fold. Lengthen away. Float it back. If the floating doesn't work for you, don't do it. Downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Left leg high, inhale. Left foot between the thumbs, right heel swivels down, warrior two. Right arm up and around. Left knee bends so the left knee is over that left heel. Dancing warrior. Right hand down that right leg. Left arm, left palm flips up, stretch it back. Breathe. Then come forward, left elbow, left knee, or your left hand can come down to the inside of that left foot and reach the right arm forward toward the front of your mat, palm facing down. Keep your left knee bent, and let's go back. Dancing warrior. So reverse warrior, then extended side angle. Reverse warrior, extended side angle. So how's your breath here? Let's do one more. Coming forward into extended side angle. Now arms wide, left knee is bent. Now straighten the left leg. Stretch your left arm forward, forward, forward. And then left hand comes down, right arm goes high. Where do you feel your body the most here? Can you press through the outside edge of the right foot? Are you locking out your left knee? So if you feel pressure in the back of that left knee, knees are kind of hard to feel sometimes. Unless they're in pain, then they're very easy to feel. But if you're putting pressure back behind this left knee, that's just going to cause problems over time. So have a very, very, very slight bend in your left knee. 3, 2, 1. Lift the chest up. Take the arms wide. Re-bend the left knee. Cartwheel the hands down either side of the left foot. Step the left foot back. Hover that left foot. Breathe in. Elbows bend. Breathe out. Heart high and hips high. Down dog. Okay, so left leg lifting. Step your left foot forward. Swivel both toes to face the right side of the mat. So with the feet out wide here, have your toes slightly pigeon-toed. And now we're going to work on that tripod headstand. So I recommend moving your feet all the way to the left side of your mat. So I guess in the orientation right now, it's the back of your mat. But think of like where you would normally face is the front, so the left side of the mat. Have your heels in line there. Then lower the chest down and try to bring the crown of the head to the ground. So if the crown isn't on the ground as you forward fold, see what happens if you take your feet wider. Are you able to get the crown down? So if you're not feeling like this whole situation of a tripod headstand is going to work for you, just stay here in a forward fold. Feel that stretch. If you want to play with this, so we're going to create a tripod with the crown of the head and the hands. You see how that's a tripod? Push the hands into the ground and push, 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 push the hands into the ground until you come up onto the very tippy toes and then lower back down. Push the hands into the ground, come to the very tippy toes and then down again. And this time, maybe you lift the heels up, push through the hands, and the feet may come up too. Maybe you bring the legs together. So again, just listen to yourself. If this isn't going to work for you, it's not going to work for you. Now pull in your core if you're in your tripod. Bend your knees. So this is kind of the Iyengar way to exit a headstand. Bending your knees with your heels towards your glutes. Then tuck into a ball, pulling your knees into your chest, and place your knees. This is not the Iyengar way, but the knees are on the backs of the arms, big toes are touching. So we're in a prep for a crow. The knees are on the backs of the arms, the crown of the head is on the ground, and the hands are beneath the elbows. Now, if you want to, you can push into your hands and pull in your core and lift into your crow. So the head will lift up and you look forward and then lower down onto your feet and just find a wide leg forward fold. Hands on the outsides of the ankles. Breathe in and breathe out. Hands to the hips. Lift the chest up. Step forward to the top of the mat, feet together. Palms face forward. Breathe in and breathe out. Lift the arms up, touch the palms overhead. Forward fold down. Lengthen the spine and take it back. Float or step, chaturanga, upward facing and downward facing. Right leg high, right foot between the thumbs, crescent. Arms up, reach forward, warrior three, left leg lifting, and stand tall. So we've been here before. Breathe in, forward fold, breathe out. Ardha halfway lifting, float it back. Upward facing and downward facing. Left leg high, left foot between the thumbs. Inhale, crescent, reach forward, right leg high, and stand tall. Mountain, breathe in and breathe out. Hands down by the sides, palms face forward. Just check in. Inhale and exhale. Lift the arms up, touch the palms overhead. Forward, fold down. Lengthen the spine, inhale. Exhale, fold it down. Step the right foot back, swivel down to the right heel. Warrior two. Right arm reaches up and around. Arms are wide. Dancing warrior, left arm up and back. Extended side angle. Right arm forward. Dancing warrior again. Left arm up. And right arm forward. Extended side angle. Arms go wide. Straighten the left leg. And now triangle again. Extend forward, reach, reach, reach. Then bring that left hand down. Maybe you want to play with your block. I like to have, if I'm playing with the block, I like to have it as high as it can go. And I like to place it just forward of my knee joint so that it's just beneath my left shoulder here. We'll see how that feels for you. Tuck the tailbone toward the right heel. And can you find a straight spine? My spine really likes to round here, so my right rib cage likes to reach up. So my goal is always to focus on a long spine without any rounding through my torso. 3, 2, 1, lift up. Take the arms wide. Swivel your left toes in. Move the block if you used it. Now, we're going to talk about this. We're going to actually move into our crow together because I know it's impossible to practice and look at the same time. So I just want to show you what this crow will look like. So we're going to bring the feet toward the left side of the mat, bend the knees, and then bring your knees to the backs of your arms. Then lift the hips up. So now we're going to come forward into the hands, balancing on the hands. See how the backs of your arms are like a shelf? And then maybe you lift one toe, maybe you lower that down, maybe you try the other one. Lower down, maybe you try both. So it's all about finding your center. So that's what this practice is about, is finding your center. So your center, your physical center of gravity, this is just physics, is 3 finger widths below your belly button. So that space right there is what we want to balance over your hands. So you lean that space forward until you feel like, okay, I'm safe now. And it's really just all about paying attention to that space right below the belly button to hover those feet. Just find your breath. And if you lifted, come back down. Take the legs out wide. Now bend your right knee. Turn your right, come to standing. Turn your right toes to the back of your mat. Bend the right knee. So we're in Warrior Two with the right knee bent toward the back of the mat. Now flip your right palm up. Left hand slides down the left leg. Stretch up and back. So reverse warrior. And then extended side angle. Right elbow, right knee. Left arm reaches up. Left palm is facing down. Try to find a straight line from your left heel all the way through the left side into the left fingertips. Reach that away. And then dance the warrior. Keep your right knee bent. Right arm goes up and back. And then left arm comes forward. Right arm up and back. Left arm forward. Move with your breath if you can. And take that right arm back. Last one. Left arm forward. And now arms wide. Straighten the right leg. Reach the right fingertips toward the back of the mat. And then the right hand comes down. Left arm goes high. Maybe you want to play with your block on this side, placing it as high as it can go, just on the outside of the right calf. And rest your hand on the block. And try not to create the rounding through the spine. Find your breath. And lift the chest, take the arms wide. Turn your right toes in. Reach your hands back behind you. Open your heart. And forward fold. So if you want to play with your headstand again, go for it. I'm not going to guide us through another one, just because we have only 30 minutes in our practice today. Feel the stretch through the insides of the thighs. Now, where would your center be in this pose? So we can think of the center physically throughout the whole pose, or we can just think about it through the inner thighs. So let's release the hands. Feel your inner thighs. Where's the center of the stretch in the inner thighs? Bring your awareness there. And see if it changes as you breathe. Now lift the chest just a little bit. Turn your toes out, your heels in. And maybe you walk your feet just a little bit closer together. We're going to move into a squat. So I recommend putting a block or some books underneath your seat, just so that you can feel supported, and place the hands at the heart center. This is one of my favorite poses right now. Where do you feel this the most? So as you're in the squat, bring your awareness to your left inner thigh. Feel the center of your stretch, the very, very, very center of it, physically. And is that the same as the place that you feel this the most intensely, or is it different? Now shift your awareness to the right inner thigh and feel the center of that. And is it the most intense? Is that place the most intense for you? Okay, let's release out of this and find your way onto your back. So I like to place my head toward the top of my mat And draw the knees into the chest. And place the feet flat on the floor, knees bent. Right ankle crosses over that left knee. Swivel your right knee away, then draw the left thigh into the chest. Interlace your fingers behind the left thigh. So this is called a figure 4, or it's called a reclined pigeon prep. So if you know that you want to move into pigeon, reclined pigeon, go for it. If you'd like to intensify this stretch, just tilt your body just a little bit to the left and find the center of this stretch. There's a principle in yoga called dukkha. Dukkha means suffering. And the origins of the word in Sanskrit are actually bad axle hole. So we think about, let's release this and go to the other side. Left foot comes down, then the right foot joins it. Then the left ankle crosses over that right knee. Left knee swivels away. Then draw the right thigh into the chest. Interlace the fingers behind the right thigh. And if you want more, just lean over to the right. So think about riding on a horse and buggy, I guess you would say. And you are riding along, but you have a bad axle hole. Think about what that would be. You would be very bumpy, right? If the axle hole wasn't smooth. So that's the idea of dukkha, or suffering, is a bad axle hole. But there is the idea of sukha, which is the sweetness of life, which means a good axle hole. So we need balance in all of this. So we don't want just sukha, we don't want just sweetness, and we don't want just suffering. We want more balance. So we're trying to find the center. We're trying to find our center. So let's release this and draw the knees into the chest. Now, bend your left knee and place your left, let's enter this a different way. So bring both feet to the floor. Actually, we're gonna do something totally different. We'll move into a spine twist. So the knees flop over to the left side, curl yourself into a ball. So your knees are stacked on top of one another, and then twist over to the right. So your right arm reaches toward the right side. And feel the center here of the physical sensation. Now pay attention to the center of your breath. So where would that be for you? Where is the center of your breath? And let's go to the other side. We'll bring both knees over to the left and allow your knees to stack. Hug into like a really tight ball. Use your left hand to reach over to the left side, and the right hand will just hold your knees together. Maybe your eye gaze goes toward the left thumb. So if you have a bad axle hole, it's a lot of bumpiness in the ride. But you can whittle away the hole to make it more smooth, and that's what this practice is. Whittling away. And let's come back. Draw the knees into the chest. And visit Shavasana. smoothing out the breath. And start to wake up the body. Rolling into a fetal position on either side. And push yourself up, finding any seated position. So I'm just going to sit with my knees out wide and my heels stacked in front of one another. And bring the palms together to the heart center. Take a moment to acknowledge the effort that it took to show up for yourself today, and just congratulate yourself for doing it. And bowing the head into the heart, honoring the practice. My name is Trina. Thank you for allowing me to guide the practice today. Namaste.